Hi, it's Celia here from LTR Coaching, and I'm going to talk you through some core exercises that you can do that are going to improve your stability and your form as you're doing any kind of triathlon related activity. So the first exercise that we're going to do is a single leg deadlift. Now, you can do this with a weight on the floor, kind of in front of you, about where your hand's going to be pointing towards, or you can just do this without a weight, and it's really challenging anyway. So we're going to just take our hands out to the side and stabilize on one leg, and then fix your gaze around 45 degrees on the floor in front of you, and then we're just going to lean forward and then hold that position for a few seconds. So if you were doing this with a weight, you'd pick up your weight and then come back to standing. But if you're not using a weight, then we're just going to lean forward with our arms out and hold for a few in and out breaths, stabilizing through the core, making sure that your hips are in a straight line. So what tends to happen is we tend to tip sometimes in this position. Okay, so you're aiming for roughly 10 to 12 reps on each side. You might have to start with a few less reps on this exercise because it is quite challenging, so you may want to start with around 8 and see how you get on. So we're going to put our arms out to the side on the other side, so the right leg, and then just lean forward and stabilize and hold. Okay, and then back to the center. Remember to breathe when you're doing this exercise as well, because what tends to happen is we hold our breath when we're doing these core exercises, and that doesn't help you to do them as well. So the next exercise we're going to do is down on the floor, windscreen wipers. If you've got any kind of issues with your lower back at all, then I would avoid this exercise. Maybe just do an ordinary crunch coming up from this part of your abdominals, so focusing on engaging this part of your abdominals, keeping a nice neutral spine and just using your hands to move forward. It doesn't have to be a huge movement, and sometimes even that's too much, so if it is, then just leave this exercise out. Otherwise, if your lower back's okay, then your legs are going to go into the air and we're going to drop. You might want your hands out to the side so that your legs don't hit them. We're going to drop our legs to one side, bring them up to center, and then back down to the other side. So we're going to breathe in as we come to center, and then breathe out as we drop to the side. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And again, we're aiming for around 10 to 12 reps on each side of that exercise. And the next exercise is going to be an up-down plank. So we're in a plank position. Nice straight line through the body, engaging the core, neutral spine, so we're looking down on the floor in front of us, and then we're just going to go down onto our elbows and then back up to a plank position. And when you're doing this exercise, just try and imagine you've got a glass of water or a plate of something on your back, so you're not rocking from side to side. So we're going down and controlling it as best we can without rocking from side to side. And you'll find you engaging even more muscles if you do it that way. Okay, so up, down, plank again, around 10 to 12 repetitions on each side, and then we're going to move into a side plank. So for your side plank, we can either hold a plank on our elbow, so thinking about keeping those hips up. We're not pushing our hips up to the sky, we're keeping a straight line here, but what can happen is the hips start to dip down. So think about engaging your core and keeping a neutral spine, neutral neck. You can either do it on your elbow, or to make it a little bit more challenging, we can go up onto our arm and then hold in that position as well. If you want to make it more challenging, you can bring your leg and your arm up and hold. So we're holding for around 30 to 40 seconds on each side. I'd say you can do up to a minute. So every time you do that exercise, you should find you get a little bit better and able to hold it for a little bit longer. So see how you get on. and just increase it every time you do the exercise. So 3 sets of around 30 to 40 seconds to start off with should be plenty. And then we're going to go into mountain climbers. So make sure you do both sides on the side plank. And then the mountain climbers, we can either bring our knees into our chest, or we can bring knees out to the outside of the elbow. And that makes it a little bit more challenging. Or we can do a combination of both. So you might be doing 5 in the middle and then 5 to the outside. And again, with this exercise, we're aiming to keep that really strong position, that plank position, as we go into the mountain climbers. Okay, so those are your core exercises to practice today, and hope you enjoy them. Let me know how you get on in the comments below. Thanks for joining me. Speak again soon.